Being the leader, one of the leaders of the locker room, what was your message to the team after the game?
Yeah, obviously, had a long flight back, so had a long time to think about it. I think, the most important thing for us right now is, everything that we stood for, that we worked for, all the messages that we said to the team and said said what we were about. When you face adversity like this, that's when that gets tested the most. So my message to the team was, we have two pretty clear choices: is to double down on who we are, come closer as a team, and go forward with a great opportunity we have this weekend, or let this affect us and deter us from what we ultimately want to do. So I think we've done a good job responding throughout the first two practices of the week, and like I said, a great opportunity this weekend.
Does any sense of kind of what if creep in your mind after Minnesota, or the team's mind after just some of the calls, some of the that last kind of play, some of the slow starts?
What if, as in if we
won?
As in if
you made a couple plays.
I mean, obviously, you'd rather win the game than not, but you can't do anything about it now.
What did the fourth quarter film show you?
We moved the ball really well. It's the number 5 defense in the country. We're gashing in the run game. We're, for the most part, pretty clean in the throw game. They did a lot of stuff to keep stuff in front of them. They played really soft zone. Try to limit our possessions. I think they were taking like a minute for every single play. They huddled, left the clock run down. There's pretty much a 4-minute offense the entire time on their side. So, they obviously made a concerted effort to limit our possessions, limit our plays on the field, and played really conservatively. So they did a good job. I think when you're in a game like that, you can't make mistakes, even if you're moving the ball really well, because your possessions are so limited.
Explosive plays are down a little bit with this offense. Is there something that maybe these defenses have done a little bit differently than you'd seen in the past, or any explanation that you can see for?
No, we're playing better defenses. I think that's pretty objective. Just when you look at how they stack up in terms of just NCAA ranking, if you're that kind of thing, I guess. No, like I said, these defenses have really tried to keep things in front of them. We've seen a ton of really soft zone, and obviously our ability to run the ball is important when you see that kind of stuff. So I think we're playing a lot better defenses this year. I think that's pretty undeniable, but presents a good challenge for us, and we have to go and execute.
How critical is it then to have someone like Woody who can so consistently hand it off to, and he'll get 6-7 yards?
Yeah, Woody's been phenomenal for us. He's a really tough player, really tough kid. Just a guy I love playing with, obviously a heck of a player.
What can you guys just do, or as a quarterback, force them to come down a little bit and play that tighter man coverage?
You got to make them pay. You can't move the ball really, really well. Average 7 yards a carry, gash them in the throw game and run game, and then stall out on a drive. You got to make defenses pay, because if you don't, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
What have you seen from Penn State on film?
They're a really good team, really experienced, 7 returning starters. Obviously really talented edge guys, really talented back end, experienced linebacker crew, and really good defense as a whole.
You mentioned it was, I think after the Wisconsin game, said it was ultimately just kind of unacceptable to have the slow starts that you guys had, and play against good teams. Obviously you faced kind of a unique situation with Minnesota in terms of how they played you guys, but you figured out anything more about how to kind of get this offense going, from the jump? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's just it depends how you define slow start. We come out and we're moving the ball really, really well. Didn't really feel like they could stop us the first drive. Obviously came up empty, which was unfortunate, and then I believe the second drive started on our -5 or something like that. Third drive went and scored. So when you talk about starting slow, there was no point where we felt like we weren't moving the ball well, So obviously, like I said, we got to finish drives and limit mistakes, but it's just it all depends how you frame starting slow. I think the biggest thing today is finishing those drives.
What would a win over Penn State mean for the program?
It'd be great. Obviously, that's what we go out and try to do every single week. And like I said, they're a really quality opponent, but we're gonna empty the tank on our preparation and be ready on Saturday.
We can talk about stuff that you guys can build on from this last game in a good way. How do you bring that out to practice day one and build on it from that perspective?
Yeah, I think just from guys' individual confidence level, I think that definitely helps. Whether it's up front or in the running game or outside, I think guys feel like they did things better, they did things well, then they can carry that over week to week. Obviously, a new week presents a new challenge in terms of schematically who we're playing against. So that stuff schematically doesn't necessarily carry over, but I think on an individual's confidence level, it definitely carries from week to week.
Lincoln said yesterday he felt like Zach Ryan might have been pressing a little bit, or might be pressing a little bit right now.
As in Monday practice? Or?
As in on Trojans Live last night. It just
Are you talking about in the game?
yeah, just in general with how he's playing right now. Do you feel like, do you agree? Do you sense that a little bit from him mentally? Just what's kind of the work with him, right now to get to the receiver he can be?
Yeah, I mean, Zach's, one of the most talented guys we have on our team and on our roster. I mean, everyone's going to have plays they want back, and that's part of the game. But I think, my message to him is just that I'm going to keep getting him the ball. He's going to keep having those opportunities in those situations, and I know he's going to continue to make those plays. Like I said, everyone has plays they want back. I missed the stop inside to Kyron on third down. There are 1 to 3 throws that I want back. So I think it happens. Zach's obviously a really talented player and is going to continue to make big plays for us down the stretch.
He said in the past how some of those mistakes sort of stick with him and he can't stop thinking about them.
Yeah.
Do you notice that about him? Like he has kind of a hard time getting that out of his head?
I mean, I don't think that's really specific to him. I think anyone that, plays sports or does anything at a high level is going to be very, very critical of themselves in terms of the expectation they have. And I think that's natural. I think that speaks to the competitor that he is. So, I think a lot of guys who strive to achieve at a high level are the same way. So, obviously, that's something that you have to overcome. I mean, I struggle with the same thing in terms of, wanting to be perfect, and we have to understand that we're not going to be, but we have to strive to be perfect in our preparation. So, look, Zach's going to be a great player for us. He has been a great player for us, and I have every confidence in him.
Thank you, Miller.
Thanks, man.